Hey, so this is Dave Jose, as you know me live on Facebook. I get a little dirty sometimes. I didn't used to get dirty. I didn't used to believe in like doing this stuff to my own cars, but now I just have fun doing this stuff and it's like great for me. So I think I kind of had too much power and broke something inside of a transmission that was built for overdrive. So I kind of overdid it with the power, I guess, but I don't like going halfway. I like going all the way. But what I want to talk to you guys about in the video today is how I got with a seller with one of my students. And it was funny because my student was telling me that this person couldn't be converted, that this person would never sign a contract, and that this person was just so wishy-washy that she felt like it wasn't going to happen. So I ended up, where did the other boat go? I ended up helping her by calling the lady on the phone on three-way, which I do a lot. And the funny thing is, the lady was talking about her lawyer, and she's like, well, my lawyer said that the deal can't be done this way or that way, and is not going to work, and I'll be stuck to you guys, which that's one of the concerns of most of the people, is that if they start working with you, it's not going to work. And if you hear my kids come by, they're usually with me. It is what it is. But anyway, so she felt it wasn't going to work. And so she tried to start telling me about how, from what she read from the agreement, that she would be bound. And the thing is, I know that she wouldn't be bound because I do this all the time, and it was just a simple flex option agreement. But she said that she would be bound by law and all this stuff, and she was trying to explain to me. So I broke out a concept on her that most people don't know about, and this is why most people can't get deals done. Everybody wants to put together some big, long, drawn-out, crazy contract to get a person to do something or get a person to do a deal, when the first thing that you should be doing, or the first thing that you should do is try to build rapport and help the person to trust you. So if you're going to be building rapport and trying to help a person to trust you, and you give them an 8-page contract, which a lot of people do, or write out these long, darn 10-paragraph emails about all your options that you could possibly have on a deal, for one, you make people tired, and they don't want to deal with you because of that. They're already going through hell trying to deal with these situations. And the next thing is, they don't trust long contracts because they think that it's something in there that you're using to try to get over on them. So you got to realize that if you want to get more contracts signed, you have to make the contract in a way that they know that they're not stuck. And that way is you against them, but not really. When I say it's you against them, what I'm saying is you have a person who does not know real estate, who has not learned to do very good marketing, and they're looking at the property and they're trying to sell the property. And on the other hand, you have you, who's an investor, who is trying to sell the property. Who should win that race every time? Now, it's likely that they could, it's a probability that they could actually get the property moved before you, but it's not very likely. So if you could get them to sign that, that gives you enough to be able to move forward and kick some butt. But let's take it a step further. This woman, she started talking about, her lawyer, and started talking about contracts and stuff like that. But she tried to take it above my head, and she didn't realize that I probably knew 10 times more than what she knew about the subject. So she's talking, and I say to her, ma'am, let me help you understand something. There's two types of interest based on English common law. You have interest for possession and interest for profit. And this is what a lot of investors don't realize that keeps them from getting deals done. If you're doing a deal with a person, no matter if it's a lease option, seller finance, or wholesale deal, and you want to be able to make money quickly, the only thing you need is interest for profit. So I'll explain what they are. Interest for possession is one of the first things that I'll discuss, because there's interest for profit and interest for possession. Interest for possession says that I have the right to own this property. It is mine. I have the right to keep it and dwell in it and do whatever I want to do with it. And that's the first type of interest. that's the type of interest that we could care less about having. Let a seller keep that interest. So when the seller's worried about you trying to take their property and all that stuff, you want to explain to them that, look, I'm not trying to take over your property. When most investors, and you always got to say this, when most investors come to get your property, they're trying to do things like take over your property right now today. And so they don't want interest for profit. They want interest for possession. So they want to sign a deed and just take the home. Now, what that does is that sets you apart from other people. And so it makes it so that the person will start to understand that you're not the same as everybody else. But this interest for profit. What interest for profit is, because I explained to you, interest for possession is the ability to hold and to have something. Interest for profit is what a seller has that says, I can sell you the property for whatever amount I want to. And they get the right to make a profit. But if they sign a document with you saying that you can buy it from them at a certain price, phone going off. But if they have a document saying they can buy it at a certain price, what ends up happening is they end up, the person who signed the contract as a buyer ends up with interest for profit. If I sign a document with you that says I can buy the home for $50,000, you can no longer sell it to anybody else for any amount over $50,000 unless it's in the agreement that you can do so. So if I have a document that gives me the right to buy it for $50,000, then what ends up happening is the seller loses their interest for profit unless they're allowed to be able to continue to market their property. So on some options that I do, I'll take over the property by writing a contract that'll give me interest for profit, meaning I have the ability to profit at anything over the amount they're selling it to me at for a certain amount of time. That allows you to make the flip. But in this case, since we're bringing another buyer to the table, I'm having her sign a document, and I let her know that all I'm looking for is to have the right to be able to sell it for an amount higher than what she wants, even if it's not exclusive. And so after giving her that information and breaking down what interest for profit is and interest for possession, she wanted to move forward with the deal. She was still a little scared because her silly lawyer told her that, yeah, well, you would still be bound even if you go past the days and all this and that with this person, which the lawyer didn't know what they were talking about, but they pretty much just said no because attorneys just don't want liability. So all they care about is, how can I say no so nothing can happen that can make me look bad? So she ended up realizing that I understood exactly what I was talking about when I took her to a level that was higher than what she knew. And she actually gave us a contract on the property and said, we're not going to worry about the attorney said. Let's just put it on a separate piece of paper, do what you said, and we're good. So understanding exactly what you're looking for and how to deal with the psychology of the seller will get you way more deals. Remember, this person couldn't be converted. They got converted. So back to my car. I will catch y'all later.